and welcome along to Giant's brand new streaming studio. I have here with me today Martin and Simulate joining me for the first of many exclusive and very special preview live streams for Farming Simulator 19. Today we're going to be going through and taking a look at lots of the new features. So I hope you enjoyed the stream. We're going to be doing lots of gameplay as well because I know you guys really want to see that. So yep, at the end of the stream we are going to be giving away 2 copies of the Farming Simulator 19 Collector's Edition. So please do stay tuned for the end of the stream where we will reveal how you can be one of the lucky winners of one of those. But for now, let's get started.
So,
and yeah.
I think we're going to start off with the most exciting thing for a lot of people who've been asking in the comments is the brands.
Indeed.
We have 300?
Over 300.
Over 300 vehicles and implements, 100 brands. So let's go to the shop here. Here are all the brands. Anything you're particularly looking forward to?
I'm personally with FS19 so far. I've been massively excited with lots of the smaller stuff and older stuff. John Deere, of course, is an exciting part of FS19, and I'm really looking forward to trying out some of the John Deere tractors in the game. Things like Fiat as well. I love that we've got a Fiat tractor in, a nice classic tractor from there. Valtra. I've come to really love Valtra as a brand since playing it in FS17. I think they've got some beautiful tractors. So yeah, I'm really loving those as well. And of course, New Holland being my favourite brand. And that beautiful TX32 that's in the game as well.
And of course, if you guys watching have any questions about anything you've seen on stream, feel free to ask in the chat as well. And we'll try and read as many as we can out. So, like I said, we're going to start off with the brands. We're going to we'll start off, we're going to show quite a lot of them, but we'll start off with the John Deere, of course, as the cover brand. You can see you've got all the John Deeres available here. So we've got the 6M, the 6R, the 7R, the 8R, and the 8RT, which was a bit of a shock. I didn't expect that one to come. We've got the 2 combines here as well with all the implements and stuff. We've got some front weights. And of course, all of these are also viewable in 3D.
And yeah, and nicely fully configurable and previewable and yeah.
Change things out in real time as well, which is nice. So we can get some rear twins, some twins.
But I really love this feature. This to me is one of the things that I really wanted to see between FS17 and FS19. It was one of those things that to be able to view the changes and the configurations you were doing when you didn't always necessarily know what that configuration was. Is a great thing to see in FS19, and I absolutely love that feature.
Yeah, I think especially for the Valtra. I mean, where you can change the color. I mean, that's was for me the same. I think I picked the color and then I went in the normal game. I was like, should have maybe taken a different color. But with the other stuff, like the wheels and so, it's also very cool to see that before it actually starts.
I am just picking random colours here, by the way.
Yeah, but that's what I meant.
Good.
Because actually, you picked my colours first and your own colours second. So yeah, and it's great to see what the various tyres are and things like that, and the various configurations for that, and you know what it looks like. I think some of them even have things like mudguard choices or design choices and things like that, so you can absolutely go around and make a tractor that you really want to play with, and don't have to, as Sim was saying to me before the stream, you don't have to sort of load 10 versions of a tractor into the game and go, I'll take that one and sell all the others off. You can see it and preview it before you get started into it, which is fantastic. I absolutely love that feature.
And of course, we've got all the new exciting stuff that people have been really excited for as well, like personal favourite of mine, the forklift. Oh yeah. The Manitou MC18-4. It's Really
which
excited
is
to have this in the game as well.
really nice to have that in the game. Really, really going to be useful when loading stuff up at the shop. Because that was the thing before. It was I need to load up all of this stuff, and that is a perfect piece of kit for that. And just around the yard in general, actually, with the number of pallets and consumables and things like that you can get in the game now. Having that forklift in there is just going to be a really useful piece of kit. So yeah, very, very looking forward to trying that out and having a go with that. So we actually we have a look at some of the placeables, maybe.
We should, but before we do that, we're going to need to buy some land.
We do.
Of course, that is now completely different. So we have the map like we have in previous games, but now when you press X, you change to land mode, and of course you can buy different sections. So you're not buying fields anymore, you're buying sections of the map. You still of course have small sections like the fields here, but if you see field 13, for example, you also get this grass patch right here, same with field 6. And I believe up here you get the bigger fields as well. Here's the one I was looking for, 2 bits of grass there as well. So it's a very nice feature. So I think we did give ourselves $14 million, so we're going to go ahead and buy.
Before that, one of the things I really love about this feature, which is fantastic, is you cannot cut a tree unless you own the land. You can't do anything on that piece of land unless you actually own it. And to me, that's fantastic. That means, everything is a viable thing now. You own forests and you own pieces of grass, and that's absolutely fantastic.
It's especially interesting for later this week when we show the multiplayer, where you need to own the land, and then maybe if you have the forest, if you have the forestry equipment. You can't just go anywhere and cut down trees on someone else's land. So you need to actually own the land.
You've got to buy the land in order to have it, in order to work it.
So this plot here is a good example. So this is just full of trees. This one, of course, you could buy this, take down every single tree that you see, and turn it into a field if you wanted to. So it's the freedom of this game is really, really cool. And
I was going to say, and of course, in the multiplayer, it is that whole thing of you have your own farm and you buy land for your farm. So you could have a competitive multiplayer where you have a land grab. Who can buy the most of the map first?
Actually, talking about placeables before we forget it, if you have different difficulty modes. So on the highest one, on the 2 highest ones actually, I think you also have to place your farm. So of course you need to look at the map and then think, okay, where's maybe the best place for me to actually place my farm? So and even if you start the same map twice or 3 times, you can play differently by just placing the farm in a different environment.
And it increases the replayability of a map massively. So, shall we grab a bit of land?
we shall. I was looking for. So here's the land. We're going to buy plot 13. I think we agreed to earlier.
Yes.
So we're going to go ahead and buy that space to buy the land. Do you want to buy the land for 847,000? Yes, we do. So we now own that. I just realised there's not any vehicles down there, so we will be making the journey ourselves.
So actually, one of the questions we have had from Fran0301 is, are these silage clamps placeable? So I think this is a perfect opportunity to try placing a silage clamp and see if we can place one of those. Is that in this? Yeah, there we go.
There we go. Bunker silo. We can have.
So there we go.
Should we go for this? The big one or small one? What should we go for?
Let's go for. Let's go for a big one.
We'll go for a double.
See if we can fit a big one in somewhere. So yeah, straight above us here. Yeah, exactly.
Just making our way over to the land that we bought earlier, which is here's the field. So we see right at the back here. So for example, we bought this is the land we bought a second ago. Go ahead and place your.
You need to wait a bit. Okay, no, it realizes it.
So that's the new feature we saw at FarmCon as well. It has to calculate because we've got the dynamic. What would you call it? Dynamic
leveling.
Leveling.
Yeah, and calculates a bit where it has to be placed. Yeah.
So it goes yellow first, and then it'll either go red if it can't place it, or green if it can.
Shall I try and find? In fact, no, we'll put it down first, and I'll try and find a red area. So as you can see, it's a bit slanted at the moment. So we'll let it do its thing. You see the lands automatically moved itself up there like that. Let's go to. Let's just put a random shed down as well. And if I can remember how to rotate, a bit rusty on this. There we go.
There we are. Yeah, this again. This is one of my favourite things about FS19 is the fact that you're no longer restricted to where a map maker necessarily goes. I want you to have the farm here, and I think certainly there'll be a good mix where there'll be maps where you have a predefined farm to start with, which should be great and absolutely fantastic. But if you want to go somewhere else and you want to start your farm in another part of the map, you now can, which is absolutely fantastic to me.
So you guys may have saw it on stream a second ago. It went red for a second. That was obviously you can't place it there, which is it's quite intelligent how it works. But now we'll find. There's the train. We find. Tell you what. To test out our. Should we roll the car to drive to our new land? Yeah. We'll take the old one. Why not? We can change the colour of this as well. We'll change that to blue. You can lease it, of course.
Yep.
Go ahead and do that actually, so we can send it back easier. You can pick up your leased vehicle from the store. And here we go. I ended up buying 2.
And you're taking the one you didn't colour.
I decided after I bought the white one, I wanted the blue one, but we've jumped into the white one. So.
Even with the 3 shots.
Yeah.
Right, so now field 13. Luckily, he's right in front of us. We just have to get up the hill.
Just at the top of the very large cliff. So yeah, it's the placeable setup. The intelligent thing of it leveling out is a really nice feature for this. It was one of those things in the earlier games where you kind of end up with stuff hovering a little bit and stuff like that. So the leveling out now just corrects that and makes it a fantastic. It was a great feature before, but it's a fantastic feature now, and that's one of the reasons I really love it, and the fact that now so much of the game is in placeable. So you've got all your animal pens being placeable items means that you can increase the size of your animal pens, as I understand it.
Yes, there are 2 sizes, smaller ones, larger ones, and every farm can actually have 1 pen for each animal type. So because you have multiple farms in multiplayer, so that's pretty cool. And one feedback that we got a lot was actually that people really want to decide where the animals are going to be placed. So there was no real unique let's say idea about this. Like some people preferred to have the cows near the farm, some wanted them more far away. So now you can place it wherever you want. So that's not fixed anymore on the map.
And you can now group all your stuff really close to where you're storing your straw or the rest of your tractors, and which is absolutely fantastic.
And like Martin was saying a second ago, if you start off on the hardest level, you have no sheds whatsoever, so you literally do have to build your farm from scratch, which I think is really, really cool.
And there's also things like you place your start position now as well, because you buy a house and you place the house, and that's where you start on the map. So you're no longer limited to that thing of this is the start point, and if you go and build your farm somewhere else, or you decide to base yourself at the cow farm or the pig farm, of having to run halfway across the map every time you load into the game.
Yeah.
Which is a fantastic thing as well. It's and sort of with that. Oh, this is.
So here's what you were just talking about, the farmhouse.
Yeah.
If I could work out how to get in. So this is actually one of the reasons I spawned this, because Bruce Boy, said, "Can you skip night?" You can, in fact, skip night. If you get a house, or if you have a house, or you buy a house, you can go up to the door and rest, which I think is a really, really neat feature. You see it in the top menu there. You can sleep. You're not tired at the moment, but at night time it will take you through to day.
Which is a great skip night. General Field Marshal has asked, does the train change back if you sell an item? which is a really good question because I've not tried that.
I don't know the answer to that one either.
Let's try it because there were some discussions about it. I don't know what point we are right now, to be honest. Let's give it a try.
So let's give it a try, and there we go. And no, so it doesn't. So it is like it is very realistic in that if you were to build something on a plot of land and flatten it out, it wouldn't go back to.
It's also a very good way of getting your land flat.
It is.
So now I could come down here and put, I don't know, with the barns. Put the farm barn down, for example. I just sold that one. Just trying to make
you're,
room.
You're in the garage.
There we go.
There we are.
Sheds, that's the one we wanted. So of course now where the house was, we can go ahead and
put another shed.
Put another shed down once it spin it around and calculates.
There we go. And we've got a shed in that space.
So yeah, flat.
So yeah, it is quite a good way of flattening a large area of ground if you want to, and you have the money to do it.
Yeah. I mean, usually it should be, you should think about where to place a house, even in real life.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
not just to place it, to demolish it completely. But yeah.
So that's placeables. As you can see, it's come a long ways in 17. There was, like you said, it was fantastic in 17, but now we've got the ability to literally come and build from scratch. So this could be a whole yard by the time we finish with it and messed around with it. Obviously, we've been putting it down quickly, but
yeah. But certainly, yeah, you can construct your yard however you want to.
So, while we're on the topic of garages,
the
horses.
The horses.
So let's go to. If I can remember how to do this, I'm a bit rusty as well. Brand new game, don't forget. This is what we wanted.
Yep.
So here's the horses, named Edgar, for example, and if we go to tag, you can see down the bottom there it says tag place or untag place. And now when we go to our map, somewhere on the map will be Edgar. So there we've got the horse paddock there, up in field number 10. Now,
you can actually rename the horses too. I mean, just saw that question popping up several times. So if you don't like the name Rambo, you can also change it to, Rocky.
Horsey horse faces.
I feel that there may be a few Horsey McCaw's faces.
And of course, you can ride them. So we're going to go ahead and jump on to, I don't know what name this is. Freckles.
This is Freckles.
How ironic. Look at the animations, they really are incredible.
It is beautiful animations.
And if I pull up the F1 menu there, we've got different types of walking. So we've got trot, we've got canter, and we've got gallop as well, jump. Really nice animations. I don't know if I just said that, but it really is amazing.
It is, yeah. It moves very naturally, which is fantastic. Really looking good.
Let's go ahead and open that gate.
And take
Where's Freckles gone?
Freckles.
Freckles
doesn't
want to go on a stroll.
You got
buddy. Right, let's go ahead and canter out this gate here. All right, let's make sure Freckles doesn't run away.
I'm while we're having a look at the scenery with I don't know, yeah. Can you close the gate with while you're on the horse?
No.
So yeah. Yeah, and one of the things to say is the environment on this in the new game is absolutely fantastic. I mean, you can see here with the horse cantering about, the grass is moving around the horse's legs, which is just an absolutely wonderful piece of animation.
Slow
really
that down,
lovely.
see it a bit better. There you go, when the horse is moving through it, it's actually flattening the grass, which is a really nice feature.
And it's just, and there's lots of little touches like that, lots of stuff that just sort of really adds to the nuance and adds to the immersion of it, which is something that from the very first videos of gameplay from FS19 I've really liked, is this attention to detail that exists in FS19.
So I'm going to go ahead and put Buddy back in the pen now.
Has it changed already, the stats? I mean, they have different stats, so the fitness level, so you can make it more valuable, basically.
Buddy.
He's down there.
5%.
5%.
So he has
Yeah.
gone up a little bit, having been ridden, I think.
Trying to
Yeah.
chase a train. You see it's gone up. It's right a bit
Good.
more.
Bring it up to 6% at least. So yeah, of course, I mean, if you feed them, keep them clean, the more, they feel well, and then they get better, get more fitness, and then you can sell them for a higher price.
One of the questions I have seen a few times, which I don't know if your answer is, do you have to get them to that 5-star rating to sell them, or can you sell them earlier?
That's actually something I don't know, to be honest.
It was one of those things that I sort of meant to ask a while ago and hadn't.
We can give it a try.
We can give it a
You can
try,
try
yeah.
if you can
So
sell
you
them.
sell one of the.
I would assume that you could sell them, but
Here's what Martin was
don't
talking
know.
about, Buddy. So you can rename Buddy to.
Who we've now got up to 33%.
He's now called Horse Mach 2. Why not? So you see the stats has changed. We haven't got up to 6% yet, but it has gone up to 83 down here. Conditions, food as well. So of course they're not just vehicles per se. You actually have to maintain them and look after them, which is really cool. Sort of stuff I'm really excited for about FS19 is the extra gameplay stuff we have as well, like the horses and the other stuff we'll get to later on. So next, we show off the missions.
Let's have a look at the missions.
This is something VF's really excited about.
I am.
use the animal dialogue quickly. I mean, give it a try. Click on a horse and then see if you.
That's where the Horse Mach 2 go. This one we were just driving. You can move it,
So you can move it to the animal dealer.
Move it. Oh yeah,
There you go.
you sell it. Yeah.
sell it,
Yeah, and then you
Yeah.
sell it.
and
But it's a
confirm.
bit
And there we
cheap.
go.
Considering that buying one is 5,000,
So
you just sold it for 3,000. That's probably not a good deal.
No, you train them up a little bit more.
Right, so the mission system is
Yes, the mission
accessed
system.
by the escape menu, and we have this brand new icon up the top here. You see we have Tyler Fleming, Kenneth. Now these all
Yes.
fields like different jobs. Now this is what caught me out earlier, is you have to make sure you rent the equipment as well if you don't have the equipment ready.
I do like that. I do like that this isn't called missions. I'd love that this is called contracts.
It's contract.
And one of the things with FS19 is if you want to go in the game and start from scratch and have nothing and just be a contractor, just buy a little plot of land and build your contracting business up, that is a perfectly reasonable and acceptable mode of gameplay. You don't have to own the land to farm it. You can go out and you can contract for everybody else on the map.
And it's not just
Oh, yeah.
field work either. We've got transport items as well, which is really cool. So if you have your own trailers and stuff, should we do this mission? Because we've got a lot of
Yep.
fans of the F here. Now, don't press, if you don't have the equipment like I did earlier, don't press accept, press lease, or else you don't get the stuff. So it should be waiting at the store for us now.
You get less money though then.
Yeah.
You should mention
get
that.
less,
I mean, of
yeah.
course, if you use your own equipment, you get more money in the end. But you need to have it, of course.
But the nice thing, this is the other bit that I love about the missions, is the fact that you don't just get the harvester anymore. So in the missions in FS17, you got a harvester, you harvest a field, and it had an infinite grain tank. This, you get all the equipment and you have to deliver the crop to somewhere. So you have to work with the combine and the tractor and trailers and actually take the crop off the field, and you don't get paid for the mission until you've done all of that. And for me, that is great for single player. But now that the contracts are multiplayer things, that makes that whole thing a multiplayer experience. And again, you could start the contracting company with 2 or 3 of you, or you can add to your farm's income by going and doing some contracting with your own equipment in multiplayer. And that to me is just absolutely fantastic. A really immersive way of doing it.
Yeah, you will probably talk about it a bit more later in the multiplayer episode. But I like the fact that you can have different farms where like one is playing normally with their own fields, but then also like you can have another farm with a contractor style and help out there, but also doing missions. Contracts. And then once the human player needs help, you just ask them, bargains a bit, and then you can help him out instead of doing contracts.
So whilst we take this slow drive down, I probably should have chosen a faster combine for this, but you've got the new lighting, well, not the improved lighting system here. It looks fantastic. I love the look of this game. And of course, down the bottom there, we've also got the new speedometer working.
I was playing around with the Fendt Ideal, or the Agco Ideal, earlier on today, and one of the things I love about that combine is the way the light plays off the different materials in the side of it. I mean, I can see why, or one of the reasons why that combine has been picked for so many screenshots, because it just shows off the lighting in this game so well. The environment and the look and the feel of it is well, the comparison I keep making is that FS19 is to FS17 what FS17 is to FS13. To me, it's that big of a leap in that it's leapt a version. As far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I think what you mentioned with the Aqua idea is that, you know, it's mainly black. I mean, all of it is kind of black apart from the logo, but even then, if it's only one color, you can see really the difference of the various materials, and that's why it was a perfect harvester to actually show off the material system, because even with one color, you could see the difference. You mentioned the speedometer down there. You can also see the wrench there. You know what the wrench is, right?
Yeah. So that's part of the wear and tear system, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. I mean, you know, machines get older. You can repair them after a while, and yeah, it costs a little bit. But also, like headers at combines, for example, they pull in less.
Because I'd heard at FarmCon, we'd heard that there was a drop in horsepower as machines got older and needed maintaining. But it's actually your equipment gets less efficient as well.
Also, yeah, various parts. I mean, I don't know all the exact details what changes, but there are some effects on it. Yeah.
But that is one of the things that is great, is to have that wear and tear, because you do. I mean, a great example would be that I had an old Massey in FS17 that I had over 50 hours on, but the only indicator of that was that it sold for a lot less money.
Yes.
Whereas on this, it would have a lot less horsepower.
So I just spotted a comment on the screen there from Red Tim. Can we rob a train with the horses? I mean,
rob a train with the horses.
You can try. I don't think you'd be very successful.
I mean, it's your grain on there, so you'll be robbing yourself. Right, so eventually, we apologise. We actually chose the furthest way field we could have done, which was a bit of a mistake. We had to go down the dirt path.
furthest way field with the
slowest tractor, the slowest combine in the game. But we're now here.
Finally. I think about it, this is the bit of the map that we saw where we got the very first gameplay of the
John Deere.
R8 of the John Deere.
It was a bit different back then, though. We kind of prepared it a little bit. It was a nice valley to show off, but yeah, it was not the final stage that we showed back then.
Right, so we're not redoing the whole field, obviously, but we'll just show you the new animation stuff. Now, one thing VF was on about earlier. Can we jump out without it turning off? No. I've got it. I ain't got the manual ignition set on, but you can actually see the teeth moving back and forward there as well. If I move the
if you lift the
header up,
yeah. So you got the teeth moving across the front of the combine, which is a new feature. It's part of the new animations that are in the game. And again, it's another one of those really nice little attention to details that that just increase the immersion in the game. That just make the whole thing feel like you're really doing it.
Oh man, I've been on a combine harvester recently. You know, like one of the modern ones, and even there was a lot of dust. I don't know how it's gonna be like on there. Seriously.
So this is canola.
And that's actually that message that comes up there was one of the things that I really liked, is the fact that if you go and try and harvest any other field with this combine harvester, it won't let you.
So you can't just start a contract and take it to your own farm.
Yeah, you can't, you know, get an ideal on a contract and go and cut your own field in 2 goes. You've got to use it on the field that you've rented it for.
Just another comment there, which actually would have been handy 10 minutes ago when we were driving down to here. Is there a hauler to haul your machines around the map? Yes, there is. If we go to trailers, give me a second to find it. Once again, this is all new for me as well. Low loaders. So we have the gold Hofer? Gold Hofer?
Yeah, which of course was introduced in FS17.
That would have been handy to bring the combine down with a minute ago.
Yes.
I didn't think of that. Probably would have got here a lot quicker. Could have got the tractor on the back as well.
To be honest, it's the one thing I always forget or intentionally forget when I play too. Is like just drive down the highway with a combine harvester.
I know we've already showed this off, but once again, when we drive the combine through the plant, you see them lower down there. Real nice.
So while you do this, I see a comment with how many maps will be available at start. So we have this one, Ravenport. We also have Felsbrunn, which is a European-based map. And then there will also be Estancia La Patria from Farming Simulator 17, but that will be available as download after launch. But we will prepare it. It will be available later.
Here's another feature I've just spotted, which people have been asking in videos and stuff. We're doing canola, as you can see, there's no swath beans dropped on the ground, but we do have some straw being thrown down, some like chopped up forage, you can see there, as we're moving, which is I've literally just noticed that. And then we've got to the end of the field there. So that's the mission system. We don't spend too much on that, but you can see the progress here, 16% done so far.
And you can actually, one of the nice things about the contracts on here is if you need to go and deal with feeding your cows or you have to go off and do another thing, and you move away from the field, you don't fail the mission. You only fail the mission if you cancel it. So it's great in that you have this ability to come and go on a mission if you need to. Which I quite like. It's
less pressure.
Less pressure. Yeah. There was always the thing. There was always the thing that you couldn't save during a mission as well.
Yeah.
So now you can come back having saved, and if you don't have 3 hours to do a certain contract on a huge field, you can do it in bite-sized chunks, saving it and coming back to it.
And of course, if this stream was 4 hours long, I would have tried to pick up that other trailer, but I'm terrible with dolly trailers, so we're going to avoid that and just take the one time. We've only got a couple of rows done anyway. This is the contracting system, though. That's one thing that's, once again, has been really looking forward to. So we can start with nothing and just go out and, with the 500,000, you can buy some equipment and just go out and do that instead of buying land and...
Which, I mean, I got up the start from scratch system. When I was testing, when I was having a go with the game earlier today, and I sort of had a little chuckle to myself because I've said a few times before that to me FS19 has always felt like a game that has been built almost for me in the way I've been playing the last 6 months, and it absolutely has been that. I started playing and went, that's how I want to play. I want to have this 500,000 and nothing else, and try and build my farm up from that. And to me, that is just a fantastic new feature to be able to configure yourself and how you want everything to work from the very beginning, and choosing the machines that you want to start with from that point.
Just looking at the new lighting coming through the cab as well, it's incredible.
Speaking of machines and dashboards and cabins, I mean, that's a pretty old tractor, but if you compare it to like the new ones that we have in the game, like the Fen 1050 or any other big ones, if you show it later and show the cabin, maybe you can also see like how detailed it is, and also like that there will be lights, interior like signal lights and everything.
So that's one thing I was really looking forward to as well, is now when you're driving around at night time, because I like doing like harvesting at night time and stuff. With the new lighting system and the interior, the cab lights and stuff, it's going to be really interesting.
And it was one of those nice things we saw in the footage of the 8R originally. Was just everything just sort of lighting up at once when the engine started. Was really spectacular. And yeah, Again, another piece of attention to detail that just makes it for me. And that's the thing. It is. I'm sounding a little bit like a broken record at this point, but it is all these little things that add up.
You see the truck here responding to terrain. It's amazing.
I like the chair actually, which is you don't really see that much here
you can
with that one.
Kind of see him going up.
You can see him
going
bouncing
up and
around a
down,
little bit, which is.
You see his foot moving there as well.
And also, I mean, someone asked, a Massey Fergie boy asked, can we see the scratches? You probably can't see them now because the tractor is like almost new, even though it's a really old one.
Yeah.
But if it would wear down, I mean, you would also see the scratches. But there's no
everything
where we
we
can
have
show it
now
now.
on the map's brand new.
But yes, you will see scratches.
The thing that we saw it happen with previously was a plough.
The plough would be a really good example.
Yeah.
But I think when we showed it to you, we used some sort of cheat.
It was accelerated.
We just did it, and then it was like after like 1 minute, it was already old. And now you have to use it a bit longer.
To do it. But it is a fantastic feature. It is one of those things where, again, adds to the realism, adds to the immersion, and there seems to be a real focus on that with this version of the game in increasing the level of that in here. I mean, it's still very much, I still feel very much it's a game that you can play as you want to play it. So if you want to play completely unrealistically, you still can. But if you want to go that depth, if you want to, put all of that, all of those realistic options on, it's there for you to do, and you can play it that way, which is fantastic.
We really did choose the field. We couldn't have got much further away if we tried.
On the map, who asked that? Miyu Matti asked if you can show the animal pens on the map when you place them. I mean, since we placed one,
yes. So in field 10,
there.
you can
I just
see
saw
the
it. So
pen.
yes, they do turn up.
So they do appear.
That would really confuse me if they would not show up.
Yeah, you do get a nice icon on the map when you put stuff down. Which also, if I'm right, I want to check this before I say it, but I believe it also means you can teleport to it, which you can.
Which you can.
Which is very nice. Where's that for you?
Oh yeah, we got some stuff to show there.
Yeah, shall we? Yeah, we can show that.
Yeah, but
lime, cotton,
lime. So
oat actually. Yeah.
This is something I'm looking forward to. So we actually, it's a bit like the chopped canola I was talking about a second ago. We actually have textures now. So here is the bredel. Am I saying that right?
I always say bredel or bredel. I'm never quite sure.
Well, I as a German say bredal, but
I wasn't too far.
I don't know.
It's one of those things. I'm constantly apologising for getting names wrong.
Bredal, bredel. I don't know.
Yes. So here we've got the John Deere 6230R. I'll show you the interior of this as well. Once again, really detailed, and we've got the lime in the back of this, or Colt. We've already gone ahead.
I do love on the interiors of the tractors, looking at the seats and seeing that.
On the birds.
The textures of the material. And yes, the birds.
I got so used to them by now that I'd forget about them.
It was I had to go on the preview version at Hero Fest, and it was the thing. I'm driving along in the Ideal Combine, and the birds are suddenly flying out, and it was at the time it was massively distracting. But you're right. Once I'd got used to it, and once I played the game a bit, it was one of those things that again just added to it.
I saw, speaking of the birds, when the German stream was on earlier, it looks really, really cool when you've got the fully grown field and they come up from the crops. So you see them there, just come up from the ground. They were trying to get the harvested seeds. This field's harvested, obviously. There we go. We're going to go ahead and show the texture of this now. So that looks incredible.
That's fantastic.
Also, there's one thing we forgot to say is also down in the bottom right corner, we have field info now, which is, I didn't know about this till today, actually.
No, this was a surprise for me when I was playing today as well.
It tells you who's owned by, in this case it's us. Wheat's here, it's been harvested, it's 0% fertilised so far because we've not done much to it, and there's no weeds on it. And
it needs ploughing. Which, of course, is something else that while we're on the line, we should probably talk about in the changes that happen to the field setups now. So you've got lime replaces ploughing as the thing that you have to do every third harvest.
It actually said it now. Ploughing needs lime, so at some point it said it.
If you go, you're on the lime bit. If you step backwards. Come off the line bit, you'll see, needs ploughing, need lime. So that tells you everything. But you now need to put down lime after every third harvest.
Yes.
And you need to plough after potatoes, sugar beet, and maize at the very least.
Yeah.
We think there might be another crop, but certainly those three.
There's the fourth one that I just keep forgetting.
Yeah.
So we had a comment, can we see the tyre deformation, by Daniel G. So you can see here we've got no weight on the back of the John Deere at the moment, and as soon as we attach the fertilizer spreader, you can see it actually gets squashed down there. It's really, really nice.
Oh, can you detach it? Because the hoses, for example, is one of these things.
So we go. I'll try and get a good camera angle with this. We've got the...
There are not too many hoses there, but you can still see it a little bit.
Even the ladder goes in.
Yeah.
So going back a couple of steps here, because we forgot to actually do this, it's not just the tractors that you can customize. So for example, this fertilizer spreader here, if I go to B, and we'll select the one we have here, so we can get extensions, which is the top of it, which we have installed on this one. Wheel setups, you can have wide tyres here, and standard and wide, and spreader system. So you can see the back of this one's more like a more traditional spreader, or if you change that, you have the one that we were using second, which is the extended spreading width. So it's not just the vehicles you can do. I think that's really cool, nice little feature they've added.
And that's a really nice piece of kit as well.
So yeah, and like Martin said a second ago, you can actually see down in the field info now what it needs doing. It needs lime.
Eddie asks, can we sell our farmlands? I believe we can.
Yes, you should. Especially, again, in multiplayer, when you sell them and then someone else wants to buy them. I mean, that can be really
in fact, yes, there's a sell option at the bottom there.
So it's going to give us 847,000. Wrong buttons.
Backspace.
There we go. You cannot sell this land while you still own placeables. So there you can. You just need to get rid of the placeables that are there first. Garage, that's the one we wanted.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and that's buying.
But it's backspace. To get into the
you can't use a keyboard for a while. So what did we actually put down there? It was the silo.
So it was the silo and the two sheds. So yeah.
The vehicle has been sold, and I can't remember what shed it was, so we'll just get rid of both of them.
Yeah.
Like so. So now when we go back, X again to get to the land, and then sell. Would you like to sell this land? Yes. So there we go. We no longer own that, and we got some money back for that as well.
So if you no longer want to work a set of small fields, for example, you've suddenly got big equipment. You can get rid of the small fields, your starter fields.
So if you're using quad tracks, for example, you're not really going to be using that on 24, 25, 26. So you just go ahead and sell that.
Sell it off. Which is fantastic thing.
So whilst we're on the topic of maintaining your fields with the field info, if we go through to the Hardy.
Oh yeah.
This thing has got a really nice interior. I saw this earlier when we were in the lounge. I'll go ahead and unfold this in third person so you can see the animations, see the wheels extend there.
I also like when the lighting is right, that you see like the reflections on the metal really good. I think you're in the wrong angle now. Well, it's not like perfect this time, but maybe the daytime is not the right one, but the reflections are really nice on this one. And it's super huge. This is like 48 meters working with, I think.
Wow.
So before we actually do this, I'll get out and show you. So this field here has some weeds growing on it. This bit here is not going to show it because I just sprayed it. If we go around to the front here, so you can see we have a percentage of weeds on this. We have 100% weeds. This field is in desperate need of some TLC. Luckily, we have the machine for the job. As you can see, you actually still have the weeds here after you sprayed. They're just dead.
Yeah.
So we're going to jump back into this. We'll try and do a whole pass on this. We'll turn it back on.
I do like that the weeds remain on the field for a little bit and then they disappear. They're not, you know, instantly destroyed. It's something that they have to. Well, they're instantly
I was just laughing at the
destroyed,
bird because the bird just escaped getting showered.
That's cool. We've got the little spray just behind the wheels there as well. So after you've driven over it,
Happy plants.
And there you go, an
Ooh.
achievement. Well done.
the birds again, escaping their fate.
Why you do this? Marie J asked, are steering wheels compatible with FS19, especially the official? And that's actually the answer already, especially the official, yes. The official Logitech wheel is compatible with the game. For the others, yes, some will, but we can't guarantee for all of them. But you know, better check in the forums or ask us. There are decent amount of steering wheels working with it.
The farming stuff is plug and play as well, which is really nice. Just plug it in and go. It's PC only though, right? Steering wheels.
The official one, yes, so far it is.
This thing's actually pretty fast. We should have drove this down to field 25 earlier.
I don't think you could have harvested the crop.
Well, Colby Ferg asked, can we use our own machines on contracts?
Yes,
Didn't we mention
yes.
that? We mentioned that,
Yeah, we
right?
did,
Yeah,
yeah.
yes, you can. Of course, you can. Well, not of
it's,
course. It's new in Farming Simulator
it's-
19,
yeah.
so now you can. Yes.
Yeah, and it is
Yes.
one of the nicest. In fact, there was a mission just there, Field 2 harvesting. I think, yeah. So that is almost identical to the combine that we currently have on here. So we could just go accept contract and take our combine down there and do it. And your combine doesn't have to exactly match.
True. Yes.
But
I mean,
obviously, if
yeah.
you've got one that's roughly the same size as the mission, then you're going to be, you know,
Yeah, but
doing well for
actually, yeah, maybe you have to mention this. I mean, you don't have to have exactly these
This is the
machines.
equivalent.
Yeah.
You
So
can
like
use
these.
any other that works. Does
Yeah.
the same job. Yeah.
If you have the TX32,
Yeah.
you could go and harvest this field
Yeah.
with that. It would take you longer than the mission is.
Another difference that
Actually,
people
that's
might not know already though is when you do the contracts, I nearly said missions again, when you do the contracts you actually have to deliver the product as well. So if you harvest, for in this example, the barley, you actually have to take it to the restaurant, which is an interesting thing, right? So if you've got a huge truck, if you've progressed into the game, you've got a huge truck or lorry, it's going to be obviously a shorter journey. What like VF said earlier as well, we still have this mission here, or this contract, sorry, that we can go back to in a second. 16% full, so you won't just fail that by leaving it. Some pretty big missions here.
The one thing though is you can't start another contract before you finish a previous one. So if you try and start another contract now,
I'm going to accept this one, so see if it will let us use our own.
yeah,
You already have an active contract. Okay.
So you either have to cancel a contract, or you have to complete a contract. And once you fail a contract, once you cancel a contract, you can't go back to it. You can't get it. In fact, you can see here
We actually
missing,
lost.
we lost
Oh,
money
we lost
on it.
10 euros.
10 euros.
Oh my god.
Uh,
Thank God we only have like 30 million 800.
But I mean, but that's the thing. It is the only way to fail a mission is for you to say, I don't want to do this mission anymore.
So we failed that one because we cancelled it manually. We've activated this one now. As you can see, we've got no vehicle, so we would take our own combine down to that. But whilst we're talking about harvesting,
Did we mention that transport missions are back? I think you just skipped through it.
We did
but
briefly mention it, I think.
we did. There's some. We went past one then.
There you go.
Yeah, transport.
Transport,
yeah.
Missions. So those don't give you any vehicles you can hire. You have to have your own milk truck for that. I'm presuming as it's a
Dairy mission.
Dairy mission.
Cement
Factory
factory.
to construction site. So I'm guessing that's transporting lime. But that's quite good because that's a non-farming transport mission. That's transporting from cement factory to
Construction site.
to the construction site. So yeah, that's interesting to see.
So we still do have cotton to show.
Yep.
Any other questions? Can you show me the communal
Show the bending
tire
grass.
from the mosh and the bending grass.
and the bending grass.
Yeah, there are two things to show, and then we should maybe show the cotton at some point.
banging out the grass. So we've actually got one ready to go, but I'll show you in this
Actually,
one.
really great way to do it is if we harvest some cotton, you can see the bending of the cotton plants as well.
Let's run over to this one real quick.
Because the cotton plants, as you go over them, as you harvest them, bend from out behind the harvester.
Oh, but just by walking
and in
there
fact,
now.
just walking, you
Just
can
by
see
walking,
them
you
bending.
can see it bending, and here's the actual cotton texture. It looks incredible. And here's the obviously the harvested one. So we're going to jump into this.
It's like a house. It's like a
huge.
family
It's
can
pretty
live in
big.
it, I think.
So let's jump into that. Here's the header. Get into that. Go ahead and switch it on. This is actually already 8,315 litres full, so we saves us doing it. As you can see, when we're actually harvesting this, oh, there's another achievement unlocked. Reap what you sow. So you can see it bending underneath the header there, and also
But you can see it
popping back up after it goes through.
And you also, the nice thing as well is the headers of harvesters. You see it also bending away at the sides if you don't quite catch it.
You can see the actual cotton getting thrown into the top there. So this will produce bales. We have one ready to go because this, as we found out earlier, like as in real life, it takes a while to fill up.
It does, yeah.
So here's one we made earlier. Oh, went past it.
Yeah.
Here's the actual truck
Right,
for it.
cool.
I'll show you the interior of this as well. It looks incredible as well inside here.
It does. They are really beautiful.
So if I jump out real quick before we pick this up, I'll show you. So here is what a finished bale looks like.
Well, a bit of a tip, if you unload them from your harvester, always do it like outside the field, because there's no real way to move them apart from one of these transporters. So they would just be lying around in the field. So, and they're really heavy. I think in real life it's over a ton or so.
Wow.
So, yeah,
So definitely try
store them
and,
there and then get a trailer to load them.
So I am using the F1 menu for this because I'm going to be honest, it's the first time I've done this. Right, so let's back the truck up here to the bale. Make sure I don't. There we go. You see it getting pulled in there by the
So it
conveyor.
looks like that can hold at least a couple of bales.
It's
that trailer.
two
bales.
Yeah, we've got two trailers, one that can only hold one. But then I think you can actually use it with maybe even a pickup truck or a small tractor.
Because
but this one is a bit bigger. I mean, certainly no pickup can actually pull.
Because when we had the when it was focused on in the fact sheets, yeah, it was certainly on the front of one of the smaller tractors.
I'll show us unloading this as well because there's a really cool animation when we picked it up, which is Y.
And there we go.
So there it comes down now.
Right, so I think we will move on to the giveaway.
There's the giveaway.
Oh yeah, the giveaway.
So 2 copies.
So two for the opportunity to win one of 2 copies of Farming Simulator 19 Collector's Edition.
This one. Here we go.
All you have to do, so one for
the
Twitch and one for YouTube, all you have to do is put in the chat, look at my horse, and one lucky winner from each will be picked at random. We will give you a few minutes to do it.
No spaces with look at my horse.
No spaces with look at my horse. And we will select a winner in a few minutes.
And don't forget, this is only day 1 of the streaming week here, so we will have more in-depth videos coming soon. But tomorrow we've got the German team back as well.
Yes.
Showcasing some more features in FS19.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're back looking at the American map more in depth tomorrow, aren't we?
Yep.
Which is
oh, and also only comment on the live stream. I mean, not on the video later.
So so once it's closed, please only comment on the live stream. Shall we have
the communal tires? Maybe you can show this one because
yes.
I heard a lot of people were actually asked about this.
I
they were wondering what is it.
It's a good question. I'll get to that.
So any of the tractors, most of the tractors have it. I think certainly the Vultras all have it.
So we'll go for the
T series.
Seems to be pretty.
And they are
There's the Nokians.
the Nokians. Ah, the communal tyres.
So that's the only option you get with these.
Yeah. So it is. They are basically road tyres.
Just gotta make them green. Should we buy this?
I think you also use them like in winter on the roads.
Okay.
Like, yeah. You know, when they remove the snow.
Yeah. So it gives a bit more grip.
So there you go.
As it's got more of a surface area. That is a very fetching green that you've given those wheels.
Chose it myself.
But yeah, so those are the Nokians, not the Nokias, the Nokians.
So whilst
which is
we get those comments in, we'll quickly show you the interior as well. So as you can see, the farmer's foot on the accelerator pedal there.
Beautiful animation.
If I can find a bump, actually, I'll show you the seat, which is like really cool.
I was going to say, the railway track's perfect.
Right, so we're going to zoom in on the seat here. You see the guy's actually bobbing up now, and we saw a huge bump there from his seat, inside as well.
And that is...
Right, so there's the animated interior. Once again, we've got the brake pedals there, and the accelerator. But the winners have been chosen.
They have been. So, congratulations to Joggin over on Twitch. You have won a copy of Farming Simulator 19 Collector's Edition. And to Timothy Gautier over on YouTube, you have also won a copy of Farming Simulator 19's Collector's Edition. If you could please drop an email to Giants with your addresses, then they will be able to send those out to you.
That's the Giants email, not the YouTube channel. Nope. Go onto the website and get the email for that. Show them, give them your addresses, and they'll be shipped out to you on the release.
Absolutely. And with that, all that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this live stream. Please give it a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. And for all the latest FS19 videos, please subscribe to Giants' YouTube and Twitch channels, and myself and Simulate as well, please. And we will see you in the next stream. Goodbye.
Goodbye.